Hey guys, welcome to Dead by Daylight, and today we have a new patch update and I am super stoked. I am super excited because finally the Trapper and the Hag are getting the buffs they absolutely deserve. And also there are some balance changes, lots of perk changes as well. So this video is going to be a review of the new patch update and what I think about it. Now the Hillbilly has also gotten himself a new costume, and I actually bought it already and it looks good. It's a very interesting costume. I'll show you guys how it looks like at the end of the video. So to save time, I'm simply going to go ahead and skip the features and content update and go straight to balance. Now the very first balance change they've made here is they've adjusted the killer pickup time from 3 seconds to 3 seconds from 4.3 seconds, which is a very welcome change. As killers, the one thing we don't have, or the one thing killers don't have in general, is time. It takes time to do everything, to find survivors, to hit them, to pick them up from the ground, to hook them. So the fact now that you can pick up survivors from the ground faster is a welcome change. It's a welcome change and something that I'm really happy about. They've also changed the obsession mechanic to show all players in the match who the obsession is. This is a definite buff to survivors, because right now survivors can now tell who the obsession is, and you can sort of plan and strategize how you want to play because now you know who the obsession is. So that's a pretty good buff for survivors. Exhaustion no longer recovers while running, and this is probably the biggest balance change, and it's something I also welcome. I know there are a lot of players out there, especially survivor mains, who will complain and say, no, this is bad, you're nerfing survivors, but the truth is, and this, we can go and have a very long debate about this. I probably might make a video about this, but the truth is, this game isn't balanced. Survivors in general are more powerful than killers, so survivors need to get nerfed a little bit in order for there to be some sort of balance to the game. So exhaustion no longer recovering while running is a welcome change in my humble opinion. If you feel differently, please let me know in the comment section below. Wraith and Cloaking adjusted the timing of the smoke effect and its audio for the Wraiths and Cloaking to avoid giving away his position earlier than intended. So it's a very it's a slight buff to the Wraith. Alright, so we have season reset and rank pip changes, and it's pretty interesting changes they're making. But basically right now, if you are at rank 15, you will not be able to do rank to rank 16 or lower outside of the rank reset. So basically, if you end the season on rank 15, you will start a new season on rank 15, I believe. So yeah, that's it. You will start the next season on rank 15. So it's okay. And for survivors like me, who very often we get reset to rank 19, rank 20, rank 18 sometimes, it can be very frustrating trying to rank up while playing with genuine beginners to again genuine rank 20 and rank 19 players. It can be very frustrating. So the fact now that you're not going to go back to rank 19 or rank 20 anymore, I think it's a very welcome change. And they've also changed the rank resets for different kinds of ranks and the pips as well. So you can take a look at that. Now let's go straight to the killer perk changes, and boy, these changes are amazing. First of all, Bitter Murmur. When a generator is completed, survivors within 16 minutes of that generator will have their aura shown for 5 seconds. When the last generator is powered, all survivor auras are shown for 5, 7 to 10 seconds. This is a welcome buff to Bitter Murmur, and it is a perk I will be trying to use finally, because I rarely ever use Bitter Murmur, because for me it used to be one of the most useless perks in the entire game. But the fact now that it's gotten this new buff makes it more exciting to use, and I will be using it. Now, check this out. Brutal Strength. Brutal Strength will now increase the speed at which you damage generators in addition to pallets. Now, for a killer like me who very often uses Brutal Strength, this is a really good buff to Brutal Strength, and it only makes me want to use Brutal Strength even more. So this is a welcome change. This is a welcome buff. I love it. Awesome. Hangman Strike. Hangman Strike will now reduce the bear trap respawn timer by 60 seconds. Okay, I'm still not going to use the perk though. Predator changed the way scratch marks are distributed, a smaller cone rather than a longer duration. So this is a welcome change to Predator as well. And most of the time I don't have a problem tracking survivors, but sometimes I do. So I believe this change to how Predator works is better, because right now you can actually track the scratch marks easier. Okay, I think this is a welcome change. I think it's better than what it used to be. Save the best for last. Made the perk token based. Tokens are gained by attacking survivors who are not the obsession. Each token is worth a stackable 5% decreased cooldown on successful attacks. Attacking the obsession makes you lose 4, 3, or 2 tokens. This is a fantastic buff, a fantastic change to the perk. Save the best for last is a perk I will be using from now on. I think this is a welcome change, and I cannot wait to test out this new perk change. Sloppy Butcher added the Mangle status effect, 25% increased healing time after being hit in addition to the bleed. Mangle status effects do not stack. Still a buff to Sloppy Butcher, and it is a good perk to use right now. Tinkerer, when a generator is repaired to 75%, killer receives a loud noise indicator and the tear radius is reduced to 0 meters for 8, 10, or 12 seconds. Note add-ons are no longer affected by this perk. So the good old Tinkerer is gone, and we can now usher in the new Tinkerer perk. Is this perk better than what it used to be? I think so. I think this is a perk that you can now use for every single killer in the game. The previous Tinkerer perk was a perk that you couldn't use for quite a number of killers. It just was a perk that just wasn't compatible with the powers or add-ons of some killers. But now this perk is a perk you can use on any kind of killer. The one thing I'm not sure about though is it says the killer receives a loud noise indicator. So I'm guessing you will get notified when a gen is repaired to 75%, but you're not gonna know which generator is being repaired to 75%. I think that's how the perk works. I might be wrong, I don't know, but it appears that you'll just get a notification that, hey, there is a generator on this map that's repaired to 75%, and then you have to kind of like guess. I think that's how it works. Anyway, I'll test it out and see. Alright, so we also have Survivor Perk Changes. Ace in the Hole. Ace in the Hole is, well, Ace's perks I feel I've always been severely underrated. So Ace in the Hole, 100% chance to find an add-on of very rare rarity or lower. Added a 10, 25, 50% chance to find a second add-on with an uncommon rarity or lower. This is amazing. This is a really, really good buff to what was already a pretty decent perk. So this is fantastic. I will be using Ace in the Hole a lot more now. Calm Spirit, additional modifier that causes survivors to not scream in pain when being hit under the effects of madness or being affected by the clown's bottle. So it's still not a perk I would necessarily use, but if you're trying to go for a stealth build, I think Calm Spirit now has a decent claim to be one of the first perks that you will use for a stealth build as a survivor. Alright, Dark Sense, reveal the killer's aura for 5 seconds each time a generator is completed. When the final generator is completed, the killer's aura is revealed for 5, 7 to 10 seconds. This is a very fantastic buff to the perk, and it is a perk I will be using as well. Deja Vu. Perk now reveals the auras of 3 generators which are in close proximity to one another for 30, 45, 60 seconds at the start of the match, and each time a gen is completed for the person who is using Deja Vu. Finally, Deja Vu also gets a buff, a buff, and it is a perk that you can now actually use. No longer would you be stuck in a situation where, as survivors, you've completed 4 gens and then you suddenly discover that the last 3 gens are all located at the same side of the map. That happens quite a lot, so with this kind of perk right now, that should never happen anymore. Soul Survivor functionality change. For each survivor killed or sacrificed, your aura will not be readable within 16, 18, 20 meters from the killer. Okay, Soul Survivor was never really a perk that I used in the past, and it's still, I don't know, I might try using this from time to time, but I don't know. What do you guys think about Soul Survivor? It's not my favorite perk. Okay, now let's get to the fun part now. The Trapper Changes, yes! Now, for those of you who don't know, Trapper is actually my favorite killer in the entire game. I love the Trapper so much, and the fact that finally, after almost 2 years, he is getting his buffs, and these buffs are actually pretty good. First of all, change trap setting time to have a 0.5 open phase and a 0.5 exit phase. Previously, it had been 1 second each. So, what this does is it simply makes the setting time of traps faster. The mid-phase animation has been reduced to 1.5 seconds. These can be modified using add-ons. So, the very first change here, which is the open phase and close phase, cannot be modified with add-ons, but then the mid-phase animation. So basically, what they're saying here is setting a trap as a trapper, and Hag as well, has 3 phases. The very first phase where you sort of open the trap, and then you have the last phase where you finally set the trap. Now, the period in between opening the trap and then finally setting the trap, that's the mid phase, that's the animation, that's the mid phase, I'm sorry, the mid phase. So right now, they're saying the mid phase animation has been reduced to 1.5 seconds. So basically, these first 2 changes you're seeing right now, it just means that you can now set traps a lot faster than you used to be. So disarm time is set to 2.5 seconds instead of 1.5 seconds, so it now takes 1 extra second for survivors to disarm traps. Increased loud noise indicator range for trap disarm from 48 meters to, I believe, 1 million meters. Okay. Sabotaged bear traps will respawn after 180 seconds, similar to the hooked regeneration. The regeneration time can be modified with the Oily Coil add-on and with the perk Hangman's Trick. Okay. Now, added a new add-on, Padded Jaws, for the Trapper, which is a common rarity. Bear traps do not inflict damage to trapper survivors, and points awarded for trapper survivors are increased by 100%. So this is an add-on specifically for gaining blood points. Good. Added a new add-on, the Trapper Sack, for the Trapper, which is a common rarity. Start with and allows the transportation of 1 extra bear trap. This, in my humble opinion, is one of the best changes that they've made to the Trapper. Finally, an add-on that's common, and it's an add-on that's actually pretty useful, because now you can start the game with an extra trap. Fantastic. Trapper Bag allows the transportation of 2 extra bear traps up from 1. Okay. Honing Stone inflicts dying upon the trapped victim if they free themselves. So in the past, Honing Stone used to be if they get trapped and they escape, they'll be downed instantly. It doesn't matter. But now they only get down if they free it themselves. If another survivor frees the survivor on the trap, they will not get down. So that's kind of like the change to it. Let's see what. Okay, Bloody Coil. Bloody Coil changed rarity from very rare to ultra rare. Okay, but check this out. Bloody Coil has gotten a buff, Complete Rewalk. When a survivor disarms or sabotages a bear trap, the survivor is injured. Survivors are not put into the dying state when sabotaging or disarming a Bloody Coil. They can only be injured from health, which is fine. So, right now, survivors can be punished for disarming your traps, which is just fantastic. Diamond Stone, renamed to the Iridescent Stone, new mechanic where every 30 seconds, one of the onset bear traps chosen at random will become set. This, again, is another really good buff to the killer's add-ons, and this is fantastic. I cannot wait to try this out. And then finally, the Logwood Die and Tar Bottle add-ons now stack. So you can imagine you using both the Logwood Die and the Tar Bottle, and then make an offering for what's it called now? The I can't remember, the mist, to increase the dark mist. So, and then if you're lucky enough to get to the Macmillan Estate map, survivors might not be able to see your traps at all because the traps will be so dark. And with the mist and the fact that you're playing in a map that's at night, it could become really hard for survivors to see your traps. So that's pretty good. We also have the Hag Changes. Now, I'm not really that big into playing as the Hag, but after this changes, I might actually try playing as the Hag every now and then. So what do we have here? The Hag Changes changed trap setting time to have a 0.5 open phase and a 0.7 exit phase. And then the mid-phase animation has been reduced to 1 second. So basically, you can now set traps a lot faster than you used to be able to. Increase the trap teleport range to 40 meters from 32 meters. Pretty good buff as well. So we've revisited all of the Hag's add-ons, and we removed all the negative effects on the add-ons, giving the Hag the bit of a buff that she needs. So these are the changes to the Hag's add-ons. You can read them. But basically, the Hag is a stronger killer now, and I'm really happy about that. Maybe finally I can begin to play as the Hag a lot more. Huntress. Mana Grass Braid to have minus 8% instead of a minus 10% charge time. That's a buff. Flower Babushka to have a negative 12% instead of a negative 20% charge time. So that's a good buff as well to the Huntress. The shape changes also. Michael Myers has some buffs. Changed Myers carry speed in tier 1. Now he will carry survivors at the same speed as tier 2 and tier 3. Myers tier 1 speed buff from 90%, which means he currently moves at 4.14 meters per second to 91.4%. So Michael Myers in tier 1 is getting 2 buffs, making Myers overall an even stronger killer, which is awesome. Now to the brand new part change, and this looks like a serious nerf to a brand new part. Brand new part can no longer repair a generator 100%. Installing the brand new part will complete 15% of a generator over 5 seconds. During the install, there will be 2 difficult skill checks, okay? Successful skill check will result in 5% progression, each for a maximum of 25% added progression. The toolbox is no longer consumed when the add-on is used. Add-on is consumed instead. Okay, so... Okay, yeah, alright, so this... I don't know what you guys think. I still think overall, this is a nerf to brand new part, I think. I don't know, we'll have to see. I mean... You kind of have some positives, but then you also have negatives. The negatives being the fact that you can no longer repair a gen to 100%. The positive here, though, is the fact that the toolbox you will still be able to use the toolbox, so it's not going to be consumed. But I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. We'll have to test it out and see. I still think overall it's a nerf to brand new part. Anyway, now they've also made lots of bug fixes, and this is way too much. I'm not going to go over every single one of them. But they've also made some changes to maps as well, some bug fixes. Let's see, perks as well. So fix an issue that cursed survivor or not to be visible within the exit gates when using the blood-blooded perk. I never had this issue. Anyway, lots of different changes, some bug fixes, which is awesome. They keep fixing bugs, and that's pretty good. So overall, I think this is, you could say, mostly a... I think killers got buffed a little bit more than survivors in this new patch. I think so, and that's awesome. I love playing as killer. I love playing as survivor as well, but really some balance is needed. And I think the fact now that as a killer you can pick up survivors a lot faster, and the fact that the killer perks have undergone some really good changes. I think overall killers are going to be more powerful in the game, and of course in addition to the Trapper, Hag, Myers, and Huntress becoming better. So let me quickly show you guys the costume for the Hillbilly, the new one, and let me show you guys how that looks like. Oh, there it is. This is the new outfit for the Hillbilly, and he also has some new weapons he can use. Did I actually get the new weapon? Oh yeah, it is a shotgun. Yeah. It is a shotgun, so that's the new weapon. I think he also has some other new weapons you can buy in the store. And I'm gonna also show you guys the new add-on, which is the Trapper Sack for the Trapper, which allows you to carry 1 extra bear trap and also allows the transportation of 1 extra bear trap as well. And best of all, it is common. This is a common add-on that you can get easily every single time your Blood Web recycles. So overall, I'm really excited about this. And what do you guys think about this Perk Changes? And the Perk Changes, in general, the patch changes. What do you guys think about them? What parts excite you the most? What parts of the patch changes are you least excited about? I will be playing some few games as the Trapper, and I'll be testing out the new perks. I'll also be playing as Survivor as well, testing out the new changes to the perks as well. So stay tuned for this video, is coming up very shortly. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you like it, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.